Welcome to Tech in the Right Direction, the podcast. Let's take tech in the right direction to drive social change and close the employment, pay, and culture gap for women in technology. This podcast is focused on helping turn ideas into action to create opportunities for women to advance in the dynamic technology industry. I hope this podcast will inspire and motivate you to encourage more women and girls to seek or grow a career as a woman in technology. Stories about the journey of amazing women in this tech field starts right now. This week in our Women in Tech segment, I will be talking with Christine Bongard. Christine is the president of the WIT Network and a strong advocate for advancing women in technology and leadership. She's responsible for driving the mission of the WIT Network and leading this global community consisting of 80 chapters in 30 countries. She has been actively involved as a leader for women in technology for 4 years and was recently honored with the WIT Community Champion Award by Microsoft. Christine was born to run. As a Jersey girl, she never misses an opportunity to spend time at the beach in her spare time. She has a love for travel and is in pursuit of completing a visit to all 50 states. So she only has 5 left to go. Christine adopts retired racing greyhounds and currently has 2 lovable pets, Fleetfoot and Leo, who also keep her on the run. So welcome to the show, Christine. I'm so happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here and talk about exciting things happening for women in tech.
Love that. So can you share with us a little bit about your organization, its mission, vision, and goals?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So we are the WIT Network. We're a community of about 2,500 people around the world. We're in 80 communities in 30 to 40 countries. And so we really love having this global footprint, working with women all around the world to help advance women in their careers, also to prevent so many women are actually leaving jobs in the technology industry right now. So we're trying to help influence them to stay in the industry. We're all about inspiring young women and young girls to be interested in careers in the technology industry. And we're also about trying to inspire and encourage more women to become entrepreneurs. So that's a little bit about what we're out here to do. We do all of this stuff through education and networking. We have a 2-pronged approach. People who join the WIT Network, we have an online presence where we have all of our webinars. We have programs on sales training, leadership training, diversity and inclusion. We have also career journey, storytelling, women who can give great advice about navigating your path in a career in technology. And then we also have local, you can participate in your local communities, and that's really great for networking, expanding your circles, as well as education through programs that the local communities are putting on. So we're really excited about it because it's a very robust program allowing people to participate, either in person or through the online experience, and both.
Wow, what a great organization, and the mission and vision and the goals that you've set are just so relevant in this time in our technology industry. So really excited to hear more and have our audiences contribute to helping your mission and vision. That's great. That's awesome. So what do you love most about leading a tech organization?
Well, I do love it. I love the fast-paced environment. I thrive in that. I love how everything is always changing and evolving. I feel like it really challenges us as business owners to accept change and learn how to adapt and grow. You have to constantly be thinking about how to change your business to be more successful as the market changes, as technology changes, as the workforce changes. And so I love all of that. And I also love how the tech industry is like a big family to me now. It's like a big extended family. I guess that's, you could say that's one of the advantages of being mid-career. But, it really is, as big as it is, it's also very small. And I love following what all my people in my network are doing through LinkedIn, and just constantly running into people, and as people make changes in their own career, we're just constantly bumping into one another, and I really love that. I feel at home in the tech industry.
That's awesome. I can hear the passion that you have for both women in technology as well as just the technology industry as a whole. It can be challenging for a lot of people, all the changes and the dynamic nature of technology just growing every day. But it really keeps us on our toes, doesn't it? Because it just makes us just always be thinking ahead, always be learning, always growing. So it is very exciting. I feel the same thing.
Yes.
So you mentioned in your intro that there were a lot of women that are leaving the technology industry. So do you notice a lack of women in technology? And why do you think that's the case? And how do we get more women? I know there's a lot of questions in here, but how do we get more women into the technology field?
Yeah, so I definitely notice a lack of women. I mean, I have from the very beginning of my career. I would say it has only marginally improved over the past, 3 to 5 years. I think there are a bunch of problems contributing. I mean, first of all, young girls do not want to be coders. That is the new feedback we're hearing from these young girls. Moms will say, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up, and what are you interested in? And they'll say, doctor, astronaut, lawyer. And well, what about, getting into technology? And their responses are, I don't want to, do this. And then they tap out, they make it look like they're tapping on a keyboard. And so we have sort of, pigeonholed, the idea that to be a woman in technology means that you have to be a programmer. And yes, that is such a critical component. It's actually a very exciting component of being in the tech industry, but there is so much more to it. And most of the women that I know in technology are not programmers. And so how do we get that, message out to them? So that's part of it. Another part of it is that, as they advance, and maybe they do get into it when they start taking some classes, they love it. And then as they progress and get older, they start dropping out. And why is that? Well, because they're soon to be left as the only girl in the class. And so when they're younger, they don't like it because socially they don't feel, accepted, or they want to be where their friends are at. And then when they get into university level, it now becomes a safety issue. They're in some of these classes at night. They're the only woman. They don't feel safe leaving the class. And I'm hearing all different things I would have never thought about that actually have nothing to do with their love for technology. They're these outside influences. And so, how do we work with the schools from elementary all the way to college, to try to address some of that stuff? The other part of it is that women leave jobs in IT because they are overlooked for promotions. They're overlooked for bonuses. Many work environments are just not set up to be welcoming to women, to help women advance and be treated fairly. And so I think, what can we do about that? Well, we can kind of try to help that by getting out there, speaking to our management, speaking to the owners of our companies, having some frank conversations, trying to help them understand how these current environments are preventing women from advancing, or not, making women feel not supported, and the whole idea of inclusion, right? It's all about, okay, you can say, oh, I have, 30% of my workforce is women, 40% of my workforce is women. Okay, great. But what's the inclusion strategy for your business now, right? And that comes down to a lot of stuff that people, just don't think about, where everybody leaves, this is going to sound silly, but everybody leaves dishes in the kitchen. and they just expect, the woman to clean it up, or the woman always is the one who cleans it up, right?
Yeah, it doesn't sound silly. It's
The
pretty
woman
common.
cleans out the refrigerator. The woman refills the ice cube trays. You have all of that. And then, you have the work stuff where you'll have a man and a woman with similar backgrounds, experience, education, and the men will always, push and promote themselves, and the women, will be a little less confident and say, well, I don't have that 100%, so I'm not going to apply for it. I'm not going to, I'm not going to go for that. And so that's something that we can all do. We can inspire each other and coach each other to have more confidence and to, push for those things that just seem a little bit more out of reach. So your question was a big one, because I think there's just so many things that are impacting this. And I think if we each take one item and we try to help make a little bit of change in that one area, eventually, the changes will start to fall into place.
I really can't agree with you more. It is just, there's so many facets to, women feeling like they can't get ahead in this technology world. And some of it we can take care of by motivating, mentoring, providing them with confidence. Others, like you said, we have to build that pipeline of girls to get them interested in technology. And technology has so many different job roles, right? It's not just the coder. Everybody thinks that you have to be coding or sitting behind a computer 8 hours a day in order to be in technology. And we have so many different job roles that women really can accelerate at, and collaborate, and really be amazing leaders in those areas, because we have skill sets that maybe our male counterparts don't. So, really, really great points on all the different areas that we could start to influence to make change.
Yes.
So as a woman yourself in technology, I know you've been in technology for many years. Tell us about your experience.
Well, listen, I have a lot of the, unfortunate stories early on of, not being treated great, being the only woman in the room, trying to sell to a boardroom full of men, and, intimidation, rudeness, overlooked. A lot of times, I would do all the work on a project and be in the room, and the person, the customer or the partner would always look at my male counterpart as if he were doing all the work, or he were directing things and he were running things. And I know it still happens, a lot of time to women, and you're sitting there like, wait a minute, I did all of this,
Right. I'm here. Do you not see me?
Because many times women are more, humble about it, or, not brag, or, you don't want to go, oh, no, I did all, you don't want to call that out. Sometimes that's really very awkward, but it just creates for a very uncomfortable experience. So I definitely, I have all of those experiences, and I just use them to fuel me to do what I'm doing now, which is, and I think a big part of this is the storytelling, like, because a lot of men will reach out to me and they'll say, what can I do? Like, I know this is a problem. I understand there are things happening that are not great. Like, how do I help? And, I think for me, a lot of it has been just doing some storytelling, pointing things out, because from a man's point of view, they may not see a lot of that in the same way that we see it. They may not realize some of these things are still happening. And the more that they seek to understand it, then they can help make change. And women are not going to change this on our own. We have to do this together with the men in our lives, our husbands, our partners, our brothers, our neighbors, our bosses, our colleagues. This is everybody on board, to kind of help this. And so I think a lot of helping them to understand will bring them on board to help us make those changes.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail right on the head. We need our male counterparts to support us, to lift us, to work together with us to get to an equal status, because we have some qualities that are so amazing in the business world. So do our male counterparts. So together we can make some huge successes happen within organizations. So working together is so critical.
That's right.
So, what do you think is the best part of being a woman in technology today?
Well, despite all of this, right, being in a position where we're fighting to make so many changes, I do feel inspired by being part of a mission that I know is going to make the future better for women in technology, and that excites me, and it keeps me going. And so I think a lot of people want to help, and they feel the same way, and so that part of it is very exciting for me. I think it's just a great time. The whole time's up, and all of that. It's like, this is a movement now. We're going to look back 10 years from now and say, wow, we were like right there in the middle of all of it. And so that's exciting to me. And then also I do feel that career wise, this is a great time to be a woman in technology, because changes are happening. Companies are opening up. Companies are changing policies to, put in more fairness for not just women, but all diverse groups. And so I think, if you're here now, like, this is great, because there are going to be more, more opportunities in this industry for women. So I do think it is a good time to be involved.
It is an exciting time, and you're absolutely right. The diversity and inclusion initiatives with all of the corporations out there that's a huge focus. I mean, so women are getting attention, not just women, but all minorities, all groups of people are getting attention, because there is focus put on that. So that will only help us. I have to say, Christine, you are just the movement that you're creating, the inspiration that you're providing, not only to just women going into tech, but women entrepreneurs and also girls moving into tech, is so important. And it is just so needed. So thank you for all that effort that you put in every day to make a difference. And I know it is making a difference every day.
Great. Good. I'm glad you feel that way. Thank you.
So what advice would you give a woman today considering a job in the technology industry, or maybe even a career?
Yeah, I would say go for it. Be bold, ask for what you want, dream out loud, have confidence, fake it till you make it. There you go.
Love it, love it, love it. We need to build our confidence. We need to support each other and lift each other up, right?
That's right.
That's great. Well, thank you. How can listeners learn more about your organization?
Oh, sure. Well, we are located on the web at thewitnetwork.com. That's THEWITNETWORK.com. And we also have a Twitter account, which is at the WIT Network. And we have a LinkedIn group, which everybody is invited to join, as well as a corporate page that people can follow for all of our updates. We really feel it's a very exciting time for us, and we look forward to welcoming more people to the WIT Network.
Great. Our listeners definitely should sign on to the WIT Network and get more information. Thank you, Christine. It was such a pleasure speaking with you.
Jennifer. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening, and please take a minute to subscribe to this podcast so that you never miss an episode. See you next week.
As your organization continues to embrace and adopt new technologies, does your team have the skills required to make the most of your investments? Directions Training offers IT professional and end-user training for the most popular solutions today, including Microsoft 365, Azure, AWS, Cisco, Citrix, VMware, and much more. Our flexible delivery methods and full customized offerings make sure that you get the training you need just the way you need it. In person, virtual, on demand, or through a blended approach. Success is a journey. Ask for directions. Visit us at www.directionstraining.com for more information today. for listening to Technology in the Right Direction, your source for the latest technology trends shaping the world. To find out how to be a guest on the show, visit directionstraining.com/podcast. Until next time, we hope that technology takes your business in the right direction.